right now, inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Minnesota Vikings. Here's the former Florida Gator Eddie Pinheiro to get us started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out.
Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. Round of applause and you go, that's it. Damn, that's a bomb with a flick on my wrist. Jersey on my chest, that's a team that I rep. Came in as a rookie, now I'm balling like a vet. If you talking crazy, better say it with your chest. Hit him with the right, then I hit him with the left. Ooh, ooh, then the juke move. Heisman stiff on, lights out, you snooze. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. It is not a game.
Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Minnesota Vikings. Evan McPherson has this one teed up, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Play fake, Cousins. Going right side here, and that's complete. Touchdown, Vikings! A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. Pinheiro's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He finds his man Johnson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. This defense for the Vikings, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Finding room at midfield. The 30. 10. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bengals are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Second into his prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Cousins on first down. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Samson Abukum able to record his 5th sack of the season.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. Flush to his right. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
To throw again on second down. Burrow. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. McPherson's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Well, they're able to come away with the interception, Charles. They aren't able to move the ball all that much. However, they do get 3 out of it with a field goal.
Yeah, and anytime you do force a turnover, you have to come out of it with points. Everybody wants 6. They'll take the 3 there. Now it's their opportunity to do it again.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference. A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They run it again with Cook. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
So, CD, you look at this offense and what they've been able to do. 8-0, perfect through the first 2 months of the year. Second half of the season still to come. We get that. But what kind of a percentage chance do you think that they have of running the table?
Partner, I think it's hard to say because history would tell us that the chances aren't good at all. We've seen a lot of good teams get to this point, and then they have that one bad week and takes them out of the running. I'm going to say 25%, and I feel like I'm being generous with that number. Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 43.
Now a handoff to Chandler.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. A gain of 3, 2nd down. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. On play action, Cousins. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
From the red zone now, Cousins. Flushed out right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Excellent recognition that none of his receivers were beating coverage and getting open, so he just threw that one away. They'll come back to the huddle, reset, and try something different.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Vikings have retaken the lead in the 2nd quarter, and already his 2nd touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this first half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game, and I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way. Well, to me, there is no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And this returnable for Rager.
They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
This defense, tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the second level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That's good for 28 yards.
So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations. He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield, but as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a 1st down.
Cousins throw complete to his receiver, Thielen.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll move the chains. They'll run with Cook. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line.
53 yards on the ground for him so far.
That's what they wanted out of that 1st down play. Run it down there. Now they're knocking on the door.
The only thing that would have been better was getting it in, and now they can do whatever they want because they've got confidence on their side.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson.
Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now on the afternoon as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good.
And that makes it a 21-10 game. After the field goal, on to kick it away is Piñeiro.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Now a throw here to his running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
And he's got room.
And he'll be forced out of bounds all the way down inside the 20.
A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. From the red zone now, here's Burrow, 1st down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They give him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete.
Touchdown!
Juwan Johnson.
An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Bengals get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
McPherson now for the extra point.
And he's got it to make this a 21-17 game.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose.
Eluding the pressure right. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down. Throwing, Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Cousins. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fielded at the 20. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Final play of the half for Burrow and company. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, it's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the 2nd half.
And the half will begin with a touchback.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Slide. Now Burrow loses the football. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
This one incomplete and over everybody. Looked like a clear throwaway, but the officials, they're going to say there's a receiver over there in the area, so no flags, and it's third down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Trayvon Mullen.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
So an opening drive interception to begin this second half.
And just think about the time you spent in the locker room going over what you expected to do in the second half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite here. This is live, and now they've got to find a way out of this hole.
Off the play fake, Cousins. They'll roll him out right. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His third touchdown of the game, 10th on the year.
And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
So the offense back out now, coming off its first interception of the game the last time out, trying to reestablish some momentum here, Charles. But they're trailing defensively. Maybe these guys smelling the blood in the water a little bit.
Yeah, I think that they probably are, but what they need to do right now is just make sure they don't force the action too much themselves. They've got them on the run a little bit. You just want to be in a position where if they make another mistake, you're there to count.
There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Joe Mixon, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are back within a score.
I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use than that, man. One play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be second down. Here's Cousins. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Just a yard. On the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Running for it, here's Cook. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. At first glance, I wasn't sure he got it. Then I saw that spot. Definitely a first down.
It was, but boy, on the other side, you dispute it a little bit, wouldn't you? Okay, if you're playing defense, are you sure he got there? But that's why they tell you all the time, don't just get what you need, get a little bit more, and take the decision out of the hands of the officials.
There he needed a yard. He got a yard and maybe an inch. Here's Chandler on second down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Cousins. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that'll make it second down. Off the play fake, here's Burrow. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about.
So pass interference the call, and that does not look to be going over too well on the defensive side.
Or on their sideline, because I believe their head coach is saying right now, hey, you've got to call that both ways.
He will find his man Chase complete.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll give it to Mixon. And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Mixon again.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Joe Mixon,
his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year.
And the Bengals have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. And Burrow's going to look to throw for it.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker.
And the Bengals are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter. Trey Hendrickson, the one who gets him on the ground. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
On third down, Cousins. Flush to his right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Burrow on play action. He'll buy some time right.
And he'll find Chase on the right side complete.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Play action. It's Burrow. And brought in downfield by Burks. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Another big play as they get 28 out of that one.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Throwing now is Joe Burrow. Escaping the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Now it's Burrow. With a catch made by Johnson. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 19. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. But how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
And they take a knee.
And how about this finish? Able to take a knee, run out the clock, and close this game out by 1 point. You talk about how many coaches we talked to? They all said the same. All I want to do is win by 1 point. That got tested in this one.
Yep, and that cliche rings true. A single penny separates this one. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
So a pressure spot here for Evan McPherson.
This to get the lead up to 4. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over.
It was a pretty entertaining ball game, Charles. Had the lead changes going on in the second half, but I think for the losing side, not able to put any points on the board in the 4th quarter. That ultimately was what really stung them.
And you know what puzzled them during the game? It's going to puzzle them even more when they go back, watch tape, and try and figure it all out. Did they not make the proper adjustments, or were they just outplayed? They'll have to figure that out and get ready for their next one.
So for Cincinnati, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they will head home next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it's their first stumble of the season as they'll dip to 8-1 on the year. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. I pull the sword out the border, walk a floor full of cobras. Go to war with you all, we can brawl toe to toe. I can tighten loops in my lace and make lightning lose in a race. I make fire cool and come back from the triangle in Bermuda. I can suit up, live in the moon up, working and outsmarting computers. I can outswim all the tuna, and that's without a scuba. So in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. I can make time traveling a surprise.